What's up, guys? It's Sue Reviews, and today I'm going to be talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I just want to say I fucking love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles so much. They're amazing. So they're basically, their city they work out of is Manhattan and the sewers, obviously. They're four brothers, and they have their master Splinter with the help of April O'Neil and a sidekick, Casey Jones, who helps them on the streets as well. And they go against the likes of the Foot Clan, the Purple Dragon, Shredder, General Kang, Kyra, I think her name is, Rocksteady, Bebop, lots more people in space that they have to duel. There's like these dinosaur-looking creatures. I can't remember what their names are. But anyways, we're gonna kick it off and talk about the origin and how it got created for the Turtles. So how Turtles got created was Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird decided just to make this goofy like turtle, like Kung Fu Turtle, and it ended up being like this thing that they made a comic book of, and the comic book was black and white. It was dark tone. It was very popular. All the first issue sold out, and then they didn't even think they were gonna do another one, like another issue. And they kept making, and did another one, sold out, did another issue, and all of a sudden, these producers, I think they wanted to make, these producers came, there's a whole, documentary on it's called, Turtle Power, I think, a whole story on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, how they blew up and stuff, it was fucking amazing, I watched it, it was so cool, yeah, and then they ended up making just their cartoon that everyone knows, and then they end up blowing up on toys. They got their big movie debut, they got another movie debut early on. After that, they got another movie debut, they got tons cartoons out. It was fucking amazing. So I just want to say my favorite turtle is Raphael, and then we have Leonardo, Donatello, and Michelangelo. I'm gonna get in more depth about the characters very soon, but how they were all originated was TGRI, the mutant ooze. Pretty much, it was this green slime that fell through the sewers, while Shredder and Master Yoshi, Master Splinter's apprentice, Master, were in a scruffle, and that something has to do with that, I think, and that's how Shredder has that scar in his eye from the rat, and then that's how the rat knows Kung Fu from his master, from watching him, because he was a pet, and then he escapes, falls in the sewers where the turtles were too, and the turtles happen to be in that ooze just like he was, and they grow, they get bigger, the turtles get bigger, and as they get smarter and intelligent, and what he decides to do is start fighting now, and he teaches them a way of karate and ninja, and I gotta tell you, that's pretty fucking badass. Turtles in a half shell that can fight, it's a crazy concept, if you think about it, but they're fucking so cool. They blew up crazy, they're amazing. So you know how they got created, basically, the ooze, that's how they call it, is the ooze, and Shredder is their big bad. So we talked about him a little bit, he's pretty badass, but now we're just gonna go to the brothers, and as you know, Raphael's my favorite. I love Raphael. He's strong, aggressive, he doesn't listen at all. He wants to be the leader, but he can't. He can be the leader sometimes, but he's not truly the leader, and his weapons of choice are scythes. There's those little sharp daggers that he rocks. Leonardo is the leader. That's my next one I'm going to be talking about. He has courage, he's courageous, speed, agility. They all have speed and agility. I'm just breaking down certain things. He has the double katana blades. I forget what they're truly called though. And he rocks color blue. Raphael rocks color red. Donatello, he's smart, kind of goofy sometimes. He's the tech-savvy guy. He's building everything. They got all their shell talkies. They got their turtle mobile, turtle tanks, turtle skateboards, all that shit. It's awesome. It's so cool. He's rocking the purple, and he's rocking the bow staff too. And it's sometimes it's souped up with gear on him and stuff. It's pretty sweet. And we got Mikey, the youngest kid on the group. He's funny, goofy, and he rocks the nunchucks, loves that pizza, and rocks the skateboard all the time. And they pretty much all love pizza, let's just say that. Their choices of pizza, their toppings are fucking the grossest shit ever. They just put weird shit on it, Skittles, and it'll be like mayonnaise probably, or something, peanut butter, I bet, on top. Like, it's just goofy, crazy shit. Anyways, it's fucking awesome. So, we're going to talk about now, April O'Neil. And April O'Neil, pretty much, as far as, like, I know and how I've seen it being interpreted multiple times, we meet April O'Neil when the boys decide to go out for the first time. And it ends up being that, like, they save her, but Raph loses one of his sais, his weapons, and she still has it, and like she learns that like something's in the sewers, and he has to try and get it back, and it ends up being a thing where like they all end up meeting in the sewers, and she finds out about them, and she's a news reporter, so she has to keep it on the hush, but like she kind of like says that she lets like them know on the news when they do stuff that like there's these heroes, so it was kind of cool that like she gets a nod to them. And like I think she has love relations with Casey Jones, but I think they made it in the comic books too. I think now that like I think her and Donnie have a thing now. I don't know. I know like in the movie Raph had a big thing for her, and I really like that because Raph was like had a big crush on her and shit, and always watched her back. It was cool as fuck. So now we're gonna talk about Casey Jones, the vigilante, street thug, who rocks a hockey mask. He's got a golf bag on his back. He's rocking the cut-up jeans, the wife beater shirt, or just like the hockey mask, and then he's got a club bag. He's got like everything. He's got probably a croquet mallet, golf bag, hockey stick. Fuck, he's probably got like a bunch of balls probably in that bag. Like he's ready to fight and just throw down. I'm pretty sure he doesn't know too much kung fu when we meet him, but when we see him in like the movie, he gives like Raph the upper hand. He gets upper hand on Raph, and it was pretty funny to see how he does that. He pretty much just smokes him and puts him in a can. So and he was like one of my favorites too. Growing up, he just looked so badass because like it was like a kid, like not a kid, but like a guy that just got to be with the turtles, and he got to train with Ninja Turtles and like be with Donnie, and like he has a really good relationship with like each one of them, but like him and Donnie have a strong relationship, I'm pretty sure, and like him and Raph are kind of like pretty good too, but like they're all pretty good, I guess. And so now we're going to talk about like the TV show that came out in 1987. So 1987, that pretty much like started the whole like turtle phenomenon, blew it up a little bit more. So they created the turtles, put the color on them, made like gave them like the personas of who they are, gave them all their like the red, the blue, the orange, the red, the purple, and then they gave them like the darker green, the lighter green, the brighter green, like someone's shorter, like Raph is bigger, like bulkier and taller. He's like meaner when they show their faces, so it was pretty cool. That lasted for a while. They made the toys. Toys blew up. They're so popular now. You can probably find them online for like $150. Some of them are super rare. And they made some, like the first movie came out in 1990, before I was born. I remember watching it for the first time, and it was fucking amazing. Obviously I wasn't born yet, but I remember watching it for the first time as a kid at home, and it was so cool. Like, it was fucking a Cowabunga. Like, it was so badass. I love it. And then, I think 1992 or 1993, the sequel came out, and it didn't do as good, sadly, like at the box office. And then the third one came out, and then that one was a total flippity flop because they ended up going back in time. But anyways, I'm gonna rewind and talk about the first one. The first movie was amazing because we got to see like the Turtles, Master Splinter, Shredder, the Foot Clan, and then like we got to see like the Foot Clan's like their master type. I forget what his name was, but he was like this big tough bald dude, Yensei or some shit like that. And then it showed like April working like the streets and news reporting too and stuff. She got in her yellow jacket. It showed who else did it show? It showed Casey Jones too, and he did a fucking amazing job. Like him and Raph's first time, it was basically like, it was a really good concept with them too. I loved it. And the sequel I liked too, with some parts too, but like it sucked because Casey wasn't there, so it sucked. But and then like the mouth thing was like they changed like how they looked a little bit too, so I was kind of like, but like, and then the third one got really weird because the animatronics I think like another company like did it and everything, so it was very like weird, and mouse were like very off-putting and shit, so it sucked. But anyways, I gotta say the first one, not the 1990 one that got released, I'd give that one an 8.5 out of 10. I fucking love it. Number 2 that came out like 1992 or 93. Like the second one, I gave that like a 7.5 out of 10, and the third one like a 6, like a 5 out of 10. Yeah, it was rough. Like they had April, they had Casey for like a little bit, but like it was rough. And then I'm pretty sure during the second movie, they made a TV movie. No, well, not TV movie, just like a TV show, but it was like live action with the Turtles, and like they crossed over with the Power Rangers in space. It was during that time. That was cool, but like the TV show sucked. I think it lasted like a season and a half, not even, and then it got canceled. And then they went back just to the ground of like in 2000. That's when we got like a good Tmnt cartoon. I remember watching that. I think it lasted for like 5 or 6 years. It was very good, like, or 8 years. It went through like tons of arcs with the Turtles and everything. It changed like how Shredder ended up secretly being like Kang, like how Kang's like an alien type thing. That's who Shredder was too. So that was just more of the big story arc to everything too. So like they ended up going out to space and shit for a while, and like they had and big battle was like against this big fucking Grand Master Dragon. Shit was fucking crazy. And that series was very good, and it was like I give like a 7.5 out of 10. It was cool. Like I watched it every time I was on when I was like 12, I think. I loved it, and I still watched it even if I see it now. And it's great. So the Turtles are fucking amazing. The toys, I love them. I have tons of statues. I'm trying to get like a fucking mask, like a turtle mask. I found like a guy that does them online. I'm just trying to save up my money and get them. They look fucking so badass. And there's like a bunch of good comics out for the Turtles too. I don't really remember what they're called, but they're fucking awesome. Nickelodeon has the copyright, so they're like just doing like what they want. I know like earlier they had like a while ago it was like Ninja Turtles Fast Forward, where like Casey Jones is and like April O'Neil's grandson like brought Turtles and Splinter to like year 2000 like 25 or some shit like that, like way into the future. And then now they had that Nickelodeon, like it was like a claymation version, and now there's like the rise of the Ninja Turtles where they look a little bit funky with the cartoon, and I'm not quite sure how I like that. But we're gonna talk about the games. The games are awesome. The games are always like they were pretty much like how do I explain this? Like mash them up, like 4 players could all be a turtle, like, so that was fucking sweet. Yeah, they go through like a lot of shit, like a lot of combat. So most of the games are pretty like the same. I remember this one game on Xbox 360 was very fun. And yeah, like I don't know really much else to say. We're gonna talk about the Foot Clan now. The Foot Clan is pretty much ran by Shredder. It's like the big organization in Manhattan that like we're trying to take down, like the Turtles are trying to take down, and it's like just that one big like epic like fight scene, like when shit's going down. It's like, oh, it's the Foot Clan, like it's another ninja gang pretty much they have to fight. And then we have the Purple Dragons. The Purple Dragons are like they're with the Foot Clan and Shredder kind of, but they're like a low level street gang that like Casey always has to deal with and shit like that. Like that's his like gang that he always fucks with and shit. So it's cool to see that. I mean, General Krang, I don't know if I'm saying it right now. And he's an alien from outer space. Can't even remember where he's from, but like he's like pretty much the head of like Shredder. We find out like he's like Shredder's puppet master in the end. Like he's pulling the strings on Shredder and like in some series in the end kind of deal. And Karai is Shredder's daughter, but she's kind of like with Leo sometimes, but she's not. Like she's kind of good for a little bit, but she switches off. So it's like an interesting arc every time we see her in like anything new. What is it? Rocksteady Bebop. I remember in the comics, spoiler, they killed Donatello, so that was like a big epic moment that happened like a few years ago. I think not even a few years ago. Maybe it happened like 2 years ago, maybe. So, but like, anyways, I'm trying to find like comic book that and like try and read up on that because that seemed pretty fucking interesting. Like they killed off a fucking turtle. Like that's pretty nuts. Anyways, I feel like I'm just rambling on about like the Turtles because I love them. Turtle Power. Cowabunga, sorry about the loud noise. Remember, Turtle Power. And remember, subscribe, like, and comment, guys. This is Sue Reviews.